1612. Mount Hiei, Japan. Before sunrise, while fog still drapes the mountains like a burial cloth, a young monk stands beside a murky pond. The chill seeps into his bones. His teachers have told him something that seems impossible the most. Exquisite beauty rises from the dirtiest depths. Beneath the cloudy surface, unseen movement begins. Lotus roots burrow into the sludge. Thin stalk stretches upward. In that quiet instant, the monk grasps a truth that will reshape his entire life. No one speaks openly about the real strength of the human mind. Tenma is 17 when he arrives at the monastery on Mount Hiei, north of the ancient city of Kyoto. The temple stands among towering cedars, trees so ancient they seem to whisper stories from the earliest days of Buddhism in Japan. He carries nothing in his hands, yet his thoughts weigh heavily. Back in his village, people called him the boy. With the restless mind, his thinking leaped endlessly, like a monkey swinging from branch to branch. While other children laughed and played, Takumi worried. What did people think of him? Would he ever be enough? Why couldn't he resemble his father, steady, confident, unwavering? The evening before his departure, his father summoned him. "Look. At this sword," the old samurai said, running his fingers along the worn blade. It began as iron pulled from the darkest soil. It was burned, hammered, purified again and again. What started as raw earth became a blade strong enough to split stone. Takumi listened, uncertain. In the monastery, his father continued, "You will undergo the same process. But the metal being forged will be your mind." At the temple courtyard before dawn, Takumi observes monks gliding like silhouettes. Every motion is deliberate. Every breath is measured. They sit cross-legged in flawless stillness, spines straight as pine trunks. Inhaling and exhaling as softly as drifting mist, he longs for their serenity. Yet when he attempts to sit as they do, his thoughts erupt like a battlefield. Am I positioned correctly? Is my breathing wrong? Why does my leg ache? I'm freezing. I'm hungry. How long must this last? Why can't I silence my mind? Days turn into weeks. He struggles constantly, cannot remain still. He loses track of his breath. His mind refuses. Too quiet. Disappointment crashes over him like a tidal wave. One morning, before the sky brightens, he sits alone in the garden, tears sliding down his face. "I'm hopeless," he murmurs. "I can't even sit peacefully." A calm voice interrupts him. "Why are you grieving, young one?" Turns and sees Hakuin Roshi, the abbot. His face is lined like weathered bark, yet his eyes shine with warmth and perception. "I cannot." "Practice meditation," Takumi confesses. "My thoughts are like an untamed horse. The more I try to restrain it, the more violently it resists." Hakuin Roshi gestures toward the muddy pond. "What do you notice there?" "Only filth," Takumi replies. "Cloudy water. Look more carefully." Peering closer, Takumi spots a green shoot rising beneath the surface. At its tip rests a tightly closed bud of lotus waiting to unfold. This flower grows from the mud itself, the teacher explains. Its roots sink into decay. Its stem pushes through cloudy water. And when the moment arrives, not sooner it blossoms untouched. He faces Takumi. "Your mind is that pond. Your fears and doubts are the mud. But within them lies something pure. You do not need to hunt for it. You must allow it to develop." That night, Takumi cannot rest. The words echo in him. Allow it to develop. At sunrise, Hakuin Roshi summons him to a small chamber scented with incense. "Sit." Takumi crosses his legs, forming the lotus posture. Hands rest gently in his lap, thumbs touching, spine upright, chin lowered slightly, eyes half open. "This posture is only the outer shape," says Hakuin Roshi. "Now you will learn its essence." He speaks of Dogen Zenji, who taught a simple yet profound method, shikantaza, just sitting. You do not sit to accomplish anything, the teacher says, not to gain insight, not to become calm. You sit to sit. Kumi is puzzled. If thoughts keep appearing, let them appear. He explains that thoughts resemble drifting clouds. The sky itself remains unchanged. problem is not thinking, it is identifying with the thoughts. The breath is your anchor. The teacher continues. Inhale deeply into the lower abdomen. When the breath ends, count 1. Exhale, count 2. Continue until 10. If attention wanders, begin again at 1 without criticism. He teaches posture as stability. Knees and tailbone grounded like a mountain base. He teaches the steady mind, neither resisting thoughts nor chasing them. He teaches Mushen, the state of non-attachment, where thoughts are seen, acknowledged, and released. Time passes. After a year, Takumi appears outwardly similar, yet inwardly transformed. When news arrives that his father is gravely ill, waves of sorrow surface, but they do not overwhelm him. He recognizes them, breathes with them, allows them. At his father's bedside, he feels grief, yet remains centered. Did you learn? His father whispers. Yes, Takumi replies gently. Earth becomes blossom. Mind becomes clarity. His father passes peacefully. Takumi sits beside him, breathing steadily, allowing sorrow to rise and recede like ocean tides. Years later, another challenge appears, not from outside, but within. During meditation, a subtle thought arises. I am enlightened. It feels pleasant, tempting. Pride disguises itself as achievement, but Takumi notices it, watches it, releases it. Again and again, similar thoughts surface each. One more refined, more flattering. Each time he observes and lets go. He finally understands. The ego never vanishes entirely. Like the lotus roots, it remains in the mud. The aim is not to destroy it, but to recognize it clearly. One evening beneath the stars, realization dawns fully. There is no final arrival, no ultimate conclusion. Only the path itself, unfolding endlessly, blooming, fading, blooming again. Freedom is not found at the end of the road. It is discovered while walking it, and so the teaching remains simple. Sit upright. Breathe deeply. Count gently. Observe patiently. Do not battle the mud. Let it nourish growth. Over time, the water clears. Something sincere and luminous rises. Not a better version of you, the truest version of you. Stand steady. Move with awareness. Rise from the depths and blossom.